Channel Wolf. So I just got done watching an interview where David Pakman is interviewing Anthony Scaramucci. Now, if you don't know who Anthony the Mooch Scaramucci is, he's the former White House, Donald Trump's former White House press communications director, and he was fired. But for years, he never badmouthed Donald Trump. All right, he kept his mouth sealed. Well, in this interview, and now I don't know if he's been sort of, letting it all out, telling all prior to this interview. But in this interview, man, he said some really interesting stuff that frankly doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise anybody who's smart enough to know that Donald Trump is fucking the worst president in the fucking history of the world. Completely incompetent. We should never ever fucking vote in another man like this guy. So among the things that he said was, first of all, now you got to remember that this dude tried to be loyal, right? And one of the things that tells us how loyal he was trying to be was, again, that he never badmouthed this dude. Donald Trump constantly did badmouth him once he was fired, right? I mean, he fucking fired him, for God's sake, right? Like everybody else. But he didn't, he held back. And so, since I'm on that point that Donald Trump fired Scaramucci, when David asked him about Donald Trump lying so much, Anthony Scaramucci basically was saying that, that Donald Trump did this so much. He's so used to lying. He constantly did it in real estate. He constantly lied to his family, constantly lied to his children, and he's gotten away with it for so long that, he doubles down when it comes to lying to the American people. And he's talking about he gives certain examples where even he questioned Donald Trump and asked him, hey, I don't recall exactly what this was about, but I know it was something about a percentage where this percentage was 86. But Donald Trump said it was 90. He told the press, 90%. And so when he went back into the White House, Anthony says, hey, I confronted him. I said, hey, why did you lie? Why did you say it was 90 when 86 is already an awesome number for whatever? I'm sorry if I completely forgot what it was they were talking about. But anyways, and Donald Trump said, well, it's a better number, right? Something that you would completely expect from your, bullshitting uncle, fucking, So there's that. And what else was he talking about? He's talking about how David Pakman also asked him, well, like, were people confronting him, or like, what's sort of the atmosphere, right? The feeling that people have around him, like how do they feel about confronting him? And he's basically saying that one of two things, that people, when they do sort of confront him about his lies or correct him on misinformation that he either purposely does or actually believes, he just doesn't take it. It's just like, whatever, he ignores it. Or people are just simply afraid because they're afraid of getting fired. And so what you have left now is, if you remember at the beginning, the first year or two of Donald Trump's presidency, motherfucker was firing everybody. Well, turns out he's firing people that are confronting him about his fucking bullshit. And so what Scaramucci says is, what you have left are a bunch of just fucking spineless ass fucking people around him, serving him as fucking yes men, that we can clearly see with his infection with COVID. He's in the fucking hospital, still fucking sick because he's only been sick for a few days, still fucking contagious, but his doctors let his fucking ass roll out of the fucking hospital so he could go take a little fucking joyride around the hospital, putting the fucking lives of the Secret Service and whoever else was in that fucking SUV in jeopardy. Right? So many interesting things. Another thing that he was saying is that Donald Trump, his personality, the man can't read for very long unless his name is all over with whatever document he's reading. When it came to COVID, he wasn't able to it's like handing this off to a child, and so you know, just he's very insecure. He's always overcompensating for something that Scaramucci doesn't know what it is, but it's obvious. He's always overcompensating, you know, always lying, exaggerating, you know, the tremendous, the best fucking people ever, right? I mean, we hear him calling people or organizations, you know, out of this world, or you wouldn't believe it, that he just fucking met because they fucking like him, or you know, he thinks they like him, right? It's just ridiculous. Another super interesting thing that he mentions, which I completely believe, is that Donald Trump doesn't like other people around him that are smarter than him. And when there are other people smarter than him, which actually also falls in line with this whole firing people in his administration, that anytime there were people in his administration, or just simply people around him that he believes are smarter than him, because first of all, he's not that smart, right? But he just perceives them that way, that he doesn't like it, so he makes fun of them. And then he makes fun of them and then finds a way to oust them. And so this points out to him, to Donald Trump, just being very insecure, again, always overcompensating. So yeah, it was a really interesting interview. And then finally, the last thing I'll say is something fucking awesome that the Mooch said, that took a shot at Ted Cruz, and I fucking loved it. He was talking about how Donald Trump essentially attacked Scaramucci's wife, right? He was shit talking his wife, and Scaramucci said, you know what? At that point, I said, fuck that. I'm not Ted Cruz, and I went after him, gloves off, right? And I'm just sitting there thinking, how fucking sad of Ted fucking Cruz, who, if you recall, Donald Trump called his wife fucking ugly. Next thing you know, and after that, Ted Cruz said some shit that he would never support him as president. Next thing you know, this motherfucker's fucking phone banking him, right? Phone banking for Donald Trump. You have these fucking pathetic ass pictures of Ted Cruz, you know, sitting there with the fucking phone banking for his bitch ass, right? What a fucking bitch. So that was awesome. So yeah, guys, I'll try to put the link down in the comments. Check out that fucking interview, super interesting. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments.